fans here at San Bernardino, California, Glen Helen Raceway, anxiously awaiting the appearance of the 250 machines after all kinds of excitement in the opening round of 125 action. Jeff Emig, he's won this 250 title twice before, trying to rebound from a tough Supercross season. This is the only motocross for this young man, Jeremy McGrath. And welcome back home to Ryan Hughes, taking a break from the GP action. Let's go to Davey.
Down here on the starting line, guys, getting ready for the beginning of the first moto, the 250 National Championship Series. We have the riders burning out their tires, getting ready. I want to tell you about this rider right here, number 44, Sebastian Tortelli. He is the guy that Honda's pinned a lot of hopes on to win the Outdoor National Series and get them back to where they were at the top of the motocross heap. Tortelli's got 2 World Championship titles, but coming into Glen Helen today, he's the great unknown. A lot of people say he's the fastest motocross rider in the world. I guess we're about to find out.
Tough part for Tortelli has been that he hasn't been allowed to practice with the factory guys, and he had to ride a qualifier yesterday.
The starting grid, Doug Henry comes back. Jeremy McGrath is back for just 1 race. Jeff Emig and Tortelli also key components to a great battle for this season. Kevin Windham coming back off a Supercross injury, and Larry Ward as we take a look at the rest of the starting grid, all 40 riders. A lot of riders here think they can win the championship. LaRocco was shown the winner here last year. Lusk.
There are a lot of people who feel that ALBERTJN got through the Supercross season in one piece, and this is his year to dominate the Nationals. Also, Robbie Rayner moving up to the 250 class.
And Steve Lampson of Chaparral Yamaha representing that team, moving up to the 250 ranks.
I also like the chances for Ryan Hughes today. It's only 1 race. You know he's going to give it 100%.
And he's in great shape. Damon Huffman trying to rebound from a so-so Supercross season. The defending champion Doug Henry returns for a goodbye tour before his announced retirement.
Some of them were disappointed. They keep saying, 1 more year, come on, another year. And I'm like, no, that's enough. And I know other people are they're really glad to see that I came back for this year, and just to congratulate me on my championship that I won last year. So I think everybody's glad to see me back for the year.
I know we are.
I'm just glad. I kind of got confused seeing him ride around with the number 1 plate. I thought McGrath would be holding that, but McGrath's number 15 today.
That's right. He hasn't had 15 since 1993, his rookie year in the 250 ranks. We're off and running. The opening moto of 250 action for 1999. Number 14, Kevin Windham, the whole shot. And a lot of Yamahas right behind him. Whoa, look out. A pile-up in that turn. Ezra Lusk is involved. Jimmy Button. Damon Huffman. Mike LaRocco's there.
Tortelli just got going. LaRocco just getting going. We got the worst end of it.
Looked like Tortelli was almost behind it and had to go around it. But a poor start for Sebastian Tortelli. This is our leader from Team Honda. Kevin Windham, Jeremy McGrath, John Dowd, Jeff Emig, a good start.
A great start for Kevin Windham right now. It reminds me a little bit of Casey Johnson in the 125 in that he wasn't able to finish a Supercross season because of an injury. So Kevin's coming in here with not that much riding under his belt. This is going to make it a lot easier on him.
Kevin Windham trying to shake that injury bug and get through a season unscathed. Seems like every year, every series, he picks up an injury along the way. Number 18 is Ryan Hughes. He's really on the move. Ward, Pashone.
Look at Windham, though, just already pulling away from McGrath. He seems dialed in. I saw Ali Seymour riding his bike around before the start of the first moto. He had a big grin. Things are looking good so far today.
So it's Windham and McGrath. McGrath making it quite clear that he's out to win his only scheduled motocross of the season. Number 15 just going by. Dowd. It'll be interesting to see if he can hold on. He's got Emig right behind him. Good, strong start on the season for Emig.
There's Tortelli just going by, so he rebounded from that first turn incident pretty well.
Here's Emig getting by Dowd very quickly. So it's Jeff Emig moving into 3rd place.
Ryan Hughes, number 18, right there.
Hughes getting by Dowd.
He's got something to prove today as well. I talked to him about his bike. He said the bike here is quite a bit faster than the one he's been riding in Europe. Just mainly the gasoline, too. It just jets a little bit better.
He says he surprised him with his conditioning. The Euro's not thinking the Americans are in that great a shape. Glen Helen Raceway, Kevin Windham, McGrath, and Emig are top 3. Welcome back. back to the opening moto of 250 action, and Doug Henry does have something wrong. It looks like they're working on that brake.
Well, it was weird. I saw him. He had a great start, and he just pulled over to the side of the track, was looking down. I couldn't tell what was wrong. There was so much action out front, I really didn't get a chance to mention it.
This is the battle for third. Jeff Emig on the team Kawasaki. Pichon getting by Hughes. And the battle is on. Mikel Pichon, who placed 5th in the first moto here last year, followed it up with a win in the second, and the overall victory is putting the heat on Jeff Emig. But it is so encouraging to Jeff Emig fans to see him in the top 3.
He is doing his best to keep Pichon off of him. Pichon going all the way to the inside. Oh!
Whoa! Emig goes down. Looked like he caught that front wheel, maybe on the hay bale.
Well, he locked it up, it looked like. Way too much to the inside, but look at all the ground he's going to lose.
Another look.
Well, Pichon has come clear over here to the inside. Emig's going to try to block him. It's a good idea, but he locks up the front wheel right there, and bam, hits those hay bales. And 3 guys go by in 2 seconds.
Including Hughes and Pichon. There's Jeremy McGrath going through the picture. He's in 2nd place. You see Tortelli's all the way up to 6th place now. He's passed something like 9 riders in the last 3 laps. There's number 44.
He's just going faster on every inch of the racetrack, Art. I've never seen anything like this. The charge that he's putting on and where he's able to pass people is just amazing to me. He goes anywhere he wants and makes up time.
You see him get around Raynard like it was nothing?
No, he...
Oh, and Rhino goes down. Ryan Hughes, welcome home.
He got around Hughes, but that was something. I don't think he meant to do that. Their lines just came together. Bummer for Hughes because he was in the battle. Watch Hughes. He's going to go wide and square it. Tortelli's line comes, they just come together. Boom, right there, contact.
Tortelli going wide, thinking he could make time in front of
He
Ryan.
even looked back as if to say, I didn't mean that. Sorry.
And so Tortelli now is giving the challenge to Mikel Pichon. Team Honda teammates going at it.
Wow. I mean, it's just a straightaway where no one's been passing, and he makes a pass through there even on his teammate. Same motorcycle. It's not a question of having more horsepower. He's getting the power to the ground a little bit better.
Tortelli now, as he moves into 3rd, is 7 seconds behind the 2nd place rider, Jeremy McGrath. Those leaders are going to have to step it up.
They're in trouble right now because Tortelli is carving 3 seconds a lap out of their lead. He's going to join him here in a couple laps.
Let's check in trackside with Davey Coombs.
Shane, while a lot of people have been watching the battle up front between Windham and McGrath, I've noticed that Tortelli's come from about 25th to 3rd in the first 4 laps. You got to be impressed by this kid.
Yeah, the kid's hauling butt. I got him about halfway around the first lap in 10th. A few guys have fallen, but he's been making up some time. I think he can win it.
Oh, that's confidence in the pits, isn't it?
Well, what he can see is what we're seeing now is the fact that while these guys are battling, Tortelli is just closing so fast. I think Jeremy recognizes that because he has now applied more pressure to Kevin. I think if he can get away, maybe Tortelli will have to deal with Kevin a little while before he gets to Jeremy.
McGrath showing Windham a wheel. Number 15, Jeremy McGrath in the Mazda Chaparral Yamaha. And just in front of him, Kevin Windham, Team Honda. Oh, great racing. They get at the top of St. Helens. Open up that throttle a bit coming down the hill.
Well, that is not an easy place to make a pass, but you can take advantage of somebody being a little bit cautious coming down the hill. That's what Jeremy did to the inside. You got to have a lot of confidence in your riding ability to make that stick.
I was mesmerized with that move. It was so smooth. As we take a look at the entire field and how they stand up in the left corner of your screen. Jimmy Button all the way down to 25th on that 4-stroke.
You can hear the people now, this lead change. They're happy to see some excitement out front, but I think there's also a lot of anticipation of the fact that Tortelli has gotten a lot closer in that last lap.
With his sponsor Chaparral just down the road from here, this is the only motocross for number 15.
My whole focus this year was to win the Supercross title, and that's what I went out and did. I was really relieved after that race last week. We had a good time at the banquet and had some fun, and you know, I've been working hard for about a month on my bike for this one race. So I'm definitely here to win, but it's not everything for me.
A lot of riders expressing the opinion they hope he doesn't win and then doesn't race any other races.
Whoa. A big mistake right there by Jeremy, though. He just about went over the handlebars.
Jeremy McGrath now pulling a pretty sizable lead on Kevin Windham. But all the stopwatches are on number 44, Tortelli.
Look at that. I mean, he's already there. The last lap, he wasn't even in the picture, and now he's already making the pass.
Clean pass from teammates, and Tortelli quickly moves into second place.
I don't think Windham could do much about that. Tortelli is just on a mission. It's not Tortelli, it's McGrath out front, and he's got him in his sights.
Standing at the top of the hill with Team Honda, encouraging Tortelli on. And so with Jeremy McGrath and the Chaparral Yamaha out in front, 3 Hondas on the chase. AMA Motocross is brought to you by Mazda. Mazda, get in, be moved. Welcome back to our opening moto of 250 action. Oh, what a shot. Kevin Windham and Mikel Pichon battling it out with Robbie Reynard right behind them. This is the battle for third place behind McGrath and Tortelli.
Well, Windham does appear to be fading just a little bit, but you know, the guy hasn't been riding that much, so it's not that much of a surprise. He's still in the hunt, but not much of a battle at the end of this moto.
While Tortelli was coming up through the pack, Reynard was coming with him. It's just Tortelli, with that burst of speed, moved into second, and Robbie now is in the top 5.
I think all these guys are going to be saying that. He's blasted past them all.
Kevin told us earlier about getting back on the track and his race strategies.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've done it, and you know, it's really starting to kind of eat at me to be getting hurt as much as I have been. So, you know, just the first ride for me coming off my injury at Minneapolis, my broken collarbone, and really just kind of go out there and play it smooth and smart. It's the first race back, and it's a long series, and it definitely can't be won today, but it can certainly be lost. So we'll go out there and play it cool, and you know, definitely go for the win if it's there, but not do anything you know, that could get me hurt.
Kevin Windham, the winner in the 125 ranks here back in 1996. Tortelli makes the move on McGrath. Back and forth we go. The crowd is going crazy. Jeremy McGrath regaining the lead. What a battle on the way.
Well, Tortelli just gambled right there, took the inside line away. He knew he wouldn't be able to jump that double jump, but Jeremy planned it perfect.
Number 44 to the inside.
Oh, this is a battle. Jeremy will fight, too. He's only riding this one race. He doesn't want to get second and then go on vacation, let me tell you.
Tortelli in his very first American National Motocross. Jeremy McGrath, a 250 titleist in the National Outdoors, trying to hold off the Frenchman.
Watch close, because you don't see Jeremy getting this kind of pressure very often. You see how he reacts to it. He's definitely stepped it up, made a few mistakes here and there, but he's still got the pace.
Tortelli following McGrath with confidence.
Sometimes you pass somebody and they get you right back, and it takes you out of your rhythm. Maybe that's all Jeremy needed to do.
Swing shot up that banana mountain.
You can see Jeremy now protecting that inside line. He hasn't been using that. He's not riding his own race right now. He's got to be defensive.
Oh, you can hear the fans. Here's Tortelli to the inside. Tortelli! And Jeremy almost off the track. Tortelli regains the lead.
Well, this is an aggressive battle between two very confident riders. Tortelli's just on a roll right now, Art. When you come through the pack the way he has, nothing can stop you, not even Jeremy McGrath. Jeremy's fighting.
Almost like a service break in tennis. You like to come right back and break the other guy's serve.
Watch this. So Jeremy rather is going to go wide. Tortelli just cuts off the line. We saw Carmichael do that in the 125 class the same way, makes that pass move. They rub elbows down the straightaway out.
And Jeremy doesn't have second cinched right now with Mikel Pichon on his tail.
Now he's still got to stay honest right there. No mistakes. Look at Tortelli. He's already disappeared. That's how fast he's going.
Uh-oh. Kevin Windham has crashed. He's up on the top now of Mount St. Helens. Jeff Stanton coming to his aid. It looks like he's pointing to that left thigh, David.
Yeah, he said his leg.
He's definitely in pain. Kevin Windham, who got the whole shot here in the opening moto, led for several laps.
Can't even get off the bike. That's exactly the thing he didn't want to have happen.
Our next air date, the Hangtown Classic from near Sacramento, California on June 5th. We'll check out the condition of Kevin Windham and be right back. We are back at Glen Helen, moto number 1 of the 250s. The battle still on as Sebastian Tortelli has taken the lead away from Jeremy McGrath, but the positions behind them are still up for grabs. And incidentally, Kevin Windham, the report is that he has a contusion on that thigh, that when he went down, evidently the handlebar went crashing into his thigh. Here's our leader, number 44.
He's able to just cruise now. It's unbelievable he was able to catch the leaders from so far back.
Number 44 on the final lap, on the verge of winning his very first national moto in his first attempt. That's the amazing thing. It's only been done once before. The checkers for Sebastian Tortelli. And Jeremy McGrath now approaching the finish line jump. He just goes over in second, holding off Mikel Pichon, who takes a third. But Tortelli really does a job in his first American motocross moto. McGrath, Pichon also in the top 3. Raynard 4th, Ryan Hughes 5th, ALBERTJN, EMIG in a 7th. Ezra LUSK in that first turn crash with Larocco and Huffman all in the top 10. Let's go down now to the podium and Davey Coombs.
And Jeremy, what an impressive effort. You gave it your all the whole time, but Tortelli, my God, that guy's fast.
Yeah, Sebastian was on fire there. I got a great start. My Mazda Chaparral Yamaha put me right on front, and it was a great race. Actually, Kevin was right in front. I forgot about that. And dogged him for a while, passed him, and thought I had a little bit in the clear, but he snuck right up on me.
Toward the end of the moto, we saw Sebastian went by you, but you hung tough with him. How'd you feel strength-wise? You going to go after him in the second moto?
Yeah, we got one more moto. You know, I got one more chance, and as far as that goes, I feel really good. Bike's working excellent. Just need to go back, take a little rest, and get another start like that.
Good job, Jay.
Thanks.
Well, a smile on Jeremy's face, but there's got to be a smile in the heart of number 44, Sebastian Tortelli. Davey's with him now. Let's go back to the winner's podium.
Well, Sebastian, welcome to America. I know this is what you were waiting for, outdoor motocross.
Yeah, you know, Supercross is tough for me. You know, I learned all year, and I was, you know, enjoying riding motocross again. You know, I'm like living again and enjoy riding on the harder stuff.
Yeah. I saw you got a bad start. Looks like you got caught up in that pile up there. What happened off the start?
You know, that was the first time I started on concrete start, so that was like, I have the practice, you know, where I have to qualify and I have a good start, but I think this race I was a little bit nervous and I was a little bit too high in the high PM. I spin all the way to my starting gate, so that was pretty bad start. And I was lucky I didn't crash on the pile, so I was very happy about that, and after I just make my way through.
Finally, any extra motivation in the fact that this is Jeremy McGrath's one and only outdoor race? Did you really want to beat him here today?
Yeah, you know, I was like, you know, waiting for this race for a long time because I don't know what to expect. You know, I'm coming from Europe and the track are way different over way rougher, and normally I like it, but I was way more rougher than what I thought. So, you know, I was like feeling great and I want to race, and whoever was in front, but that was great. That was Jeremy. That's the great rider.
We'll let you get ready for the second moto.
Thank you very much.
Is it possible that Tortelli can be the 5th different winner in 5 races here at Glen Helen? Moto number 2 coming up. Welcome back to Glen Helen Raceway. Moto number 2, the riders in the 250 division getting ready. Ryan Hughes went to the GP circuit this year to rejuvenate his career. Takes an open mind to succeed there.
Everybody speaks English on my team, so that helps me out. I guess the surprise was going to a race every weekend and it being muddy, you know, or being cold, and I'm not used to that.
Adjusting to racing is one thing, but for the entire family to change their lifestyle, it's another.
For the family, it's the hardest part. For Jennifer, you know, she doesn't have the time, you know, the training and the riding where I can get away. You know, when you're with a kid 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it gets a little tough, and you don't have any friends there. You know, it's a hard part for her. I kind of feel sorry for her a little bit, but you know, she's stuck right by my side, and you know, I really respect her for that.
Congratulations to Ryan. He surprised a lot of people over there, and it's good to see him doing well again as the 250s now start to rev things up for moto number 2. Number 15, Jeremy McGrath, looking down at the bike. Between motos, they changed motors, David Bailey.
Yeah, he had cracked the engine cases. I don't know if he really sensed that or not, but still, they had a lot of work to do. Now you see that these guys are trying to get their tire hot. See Pichon, he's holding on the front brake, he's doing a burnout.
Tortelli doing likewise, number 44. Tortelli saying that he just wasn't used to cement starting blocks.
He's just looking around going, what are they doing? Well, I guess I'll do the same thing. See, they sit straighter up, try to put more weight on the rear end for the start.
Moto number 2 is now underway. Tortelli not with a very good start. If anything happens in the first turn, look out. Jimmy Button on the Yamaha 4-stroke gets the whole shot. McGrath is in great position now for overall. There you see him, second, third place. Huffman, number 31. Number 14, once again, a good start for Kevin Windham. Dowd, there's Henry in the play. Oh, going down is ALBERTJN. And look at Tortelli got caught behind him.
What a bad break. Now McGrath is out front. Tortelli is further back than he was the first moto. Bad break for ALBERTJN as well. Anytime you make a mistake in his first couple of corners, I always say it, but look at how many riders go by.
Well, at least you have the advantage that you got a lot of time to pick it up again. That's a lot of work, a lot of riders to have to pass, no question. Jimmy Button, number 10. Good start for him. Huffman in second, McGrath in third, Windham fourth, and Henry in fifth.
Henry's got about the same start he had the first moto, only this time he doesn't have problems, so I'm anxious to see how he's able to keep pace with these guys. The first moto, he made up a lot of time, but from so far back, it's really difficult to measure.
Not a bad start for Ryan Hughes either. There's 3, that's LaRocco. LaRocco just silently running a consistent race.
He's one of those guys that's just quiet, works his way up, sneaks into the picture. Button's got a great opportunity right here. He had a bad start in the first moto, then he fell again on his own, so he's got an opportunity here to show everybody how fast he can go here.
There's EMIG number 11, Ward 7, 4, Ezra Lusk.
There's Tortelli again, just way back in the pack. It's going to be tough for him to work his way up from that far.
Coming down Mount St. Helens, blistering it. Looks like they're almost going over rock with loose dirt on the top of the rock.
It's slick, bumpy, off camber, steep, rutted, you name it. Everything's wrong with that hill. I don't like it.
Damon Huffman's got to be pleased with his start here in the second moto after difficult times and having to battle up into the top 10 in the first moto.
See McGrath cross over the line of Huffman because in that sand there's a lot of rock. It's like gravel. You get hit with one of those, it hurts.
Jeremy McGrath in good position for that overall, especially with Tortelli getting hung up behind the ALBERTJN crash.
Now Button and McGrath both did a lot of testing out here, getting all dialed for this race. And Button was fast up until recently when McGrath was a little bit quicker in the lap time.
Our Suzuki trivia question: who was the last rider to win 3 consecutive 125 motocross championships? The answer in a moment. While we were away from the action in moto number 2 here in the 250s at Glen Helen, this pass took place. Number 15, Jeremy McGrath getting around Damon Huffman.
Just took advantage of Huffman going a little bit wide right there, right down the middle. It didn't look too tough. But trust me, it is a lot tougher than it looks.
Our trivia question: who was the last rider to win 3 consecutive 125 motocross championships? Mark Barnett on a Suzuki, 1980, 81, and 82. Brock Glover did it before him, and now, of course, Ricky Carmichael, after sweeping the 125s earlier here at Glen Helen, could become a third if he wins the title this year.
This trio right here, LaRocco, Pichon, and Ryan, these guys are on the move.
Once again, we find 3 Hondas.
They're all getting around. Something seems to be wrong with Henry right now. He just all of a sudden dropped way off the pace.
Bad luck for the defending champion, Doug Henry.
He was up there. He had a chance.
In the first moto, they thought they had a rock in that back brake. What's the problem now? Here's LaRocco, number 3. Number 5, Pichon. Number 18, Hughes. And there's Doug Henry dropping to 7th.
Then back to Lusk, and that might have been Tortelli right behind Lusk. So if that's the case, what a ride. He's back in position again. I don't know if he can go out and catch the leaders, but what a ride. It is him.
There's Lusk and Tortelli. So many fast riders in front of him. He is surely proving what Davey Coombs suggested at the very beginning of the program.
Well, it just surprises me that he's able to carve through the kind of talent that's in the 250 class this year. I mean, you just look down the leaderboard and there's 12, 13 guys. So he makes the pass on Henry. Definitely something's wrong with Henry now, and he just has to ride the rest of the race. That's so frustrating when you know you have the pace to stay up front, finish in the top 3, and you've got to just ride it out.
Henry, a winner here in the 125s back in 1993. That was the first event they held here at Glen Helen, 93. Larocco winning on a Kawasaki in the 250s, and Henry on a Honda in the 125s. And then they came back to Glen Helen, 96 through last year.
No, Henry's fast on the uphill.
Shaking his head going up the uphill.
No rear brake, maybe. Because every time they come into a corner, he can't be aggressive, but he was aggressive up that hill.
Here's the battle for first now as Jeremy McGrath has picked up on Jimmy Button. Looking for the opportunity. Having to pick it up, probably knowing that Tortelli's on the move. Jeremy McGrath taking the lead, cuts in front of Button.
He made that look easy, too. Button went in, he had the pressure on, forced Button to get into that corner hot. A little bit over the berm, and Jeremy just rode right around the inside. So you're right, maybe he does know, and if he doesn't, he'll know soon that Tortelli's on the move once again, and that'd be for the overall.
Jeremy McGrath, if he can hold on to first place here, but the 2-1 would take the overall. And that would be his only race in the motocross scene for the rest of the year.
Yeah, how'd that be? Just go on vacation. Yeah, come get me.
How can he do that? Why, just try one more, hang town.
I don't think this guy has a half hour to himself. He's got so much demand because of the kind of person he's become in the sport of Supercross and the sport in general. I don't think that the responsibilities of everybody else is quite what it is to McGrath. So it's hard to relate to, but I think he'd just like to have some time off going, what else do I have to prove?
Could this be a trend? He's got a Supercross-only contract virtually. Could we see in the future motocross contracts only?
I hope not. I hope this is just a rare thing for a rare rider.
Taking a look now at the current standings, McGrath, Button, Huffman, Larocco, and Pichon, our top 5. We'll be back with more Moto number 2, 250 action in a moment. Welcome back to the action at Glen Helen Raceway, our second moto of the 250s. Sebastian Tortelli, number 44, coming from way back to win the first moto, is trying to do the same thing here in Moto 2. The battle is on with Mike Larocco.
This is just blowing my mind. He went around Ryan Hughes, Pichon, Lusk. I mean, like they're just parked. It's ridiculous. The guy can go anywhere on the racetrack, make a pass anywhere, and he's still gaining time on McGrath out front in traffic.
Staying away from being right behind Larocco, except taking that groove.
Now, it might take a little longer to get around Mike.
Yeah, right. Good call, Dave.
Maybe not. I'm telling you, this guy is...
As of David Bailey, watch this.
This guy is blowing my mind.
Just incredible. Now Tortelli has about 12 seconds to pick up in order to catch our leader. It's just amazing, his speed on this track. Let's check out with Jeff Stanton, our Honda Tech Tip.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stanton with this week's Honda Tech Tip. We're going to talk about the differences between Supercross and Motocross, what we do differently to set up the bike. Probably most importantly, suspension. Getting the bike dialed up suspension-wise, front and rear for the riders. The bike setup is much different for an outdoor national compared to Supercross. Supercross, I need it much stiffer. Outdoor national, it gets much choppier, a lot rougher, so a lot of bike setup suspension-wise. All 4 of our riders, each one has a different engine setting. Compared to Supercross, they want a lot of bottom end, get them over all the jumps. Here, the tracks are much longer, outdoor nationals, so they need a different engine characteristic, a longer power band, to carry them up all these long hills and to carry them through all the deep sand. So different pipe settings, different cylinders, motor settings. Each rider prefers a different setting. 2 most important things between Supercross and Nationals. Number 1, most important, suspension setup. Number 2, getting the bike to where you feel comfortable engine-wise for your power characteristics. And that's this week's Honda Tech Tip. And I'm Jeff Stanton.
Thanks, Jeff. And I got another tip for you. 7:30 last night, Tortelli was out walking this racetrack, looking at every bump, all the hills. Then he went back into the semi and reviewed videotapes. The guy has got the desire to do whatever it takes to win.
Jeremy McGrath in first, Jimmy Button in second. Damon Huffman now working on Button in the four-stroke. Whoa, what a move by Huffman. Back and forth they go in the battle for second place.
He had a good idea. Made it pass for a moment, but Button countered it perfect. You know, the thing that's got to be bothering Button a little bit, I know it would bother me, is that front number plate's been dangling ever since about the third lap. It affects your concentration every time the front brake cable, when the forks compress. Watch into this corner, that thing will start wiggling. Wow, look at Huffman.
Huffman just searching for a way and finds it. It's to the inside. Damon Huffman now moving into second place.
He wanted that bad. That's the farthest I've seen anybody jump into that corner all day. He had to be hoping that Button wasn't going to cut to the inside or to land it on him.
And look at 44, Tortelli. He's come from another world.
He's already on these guys. I mean, he had, what, about 4 seconds to make up on them in this last lap, and there he's already on them. Look how fast, I mean, he's just wide open. The thing about him is, it's unlike watching Boland in the 125, where he looks like he's a little bit on the edge. Tortelli looks under control.
Taking on Jimmy Button now in the battle for third. He just picks his spot and goes for it.
You know, a 250 is not faster than a 400. I'm pretty sure, but he gets that power to the ground. Look at Button.
Button kind of squeezes him into the corner. The photographer having to get out of the way.
The longer he does that, the more he's going to irritate Tortelli. He'll only put up with it once or twice. That's slowing both of them down, not just Tortelli.
Yeah, Button on the Yamaha. Jeremy McGrath out in front on a Yamaha. Look at the power, though, of that two-stroke Team Honda number 44, Sebastian Tortelli on the upside of Mount St. Helens.
That was just anger right there. He got a drive. He was going to pass Button. He put him into the grass on purpose, saying, here, right back at you. Don't do that to me ever again. That's the way you get back at somebody when they're trying to block you a little bit, especially when they take you off and burn. You just beat them. There's nothing they can do about it except just hate you more.
Damon Huffman in second place, the next target for Tortelli. Almost deja vu of the first moto. The way Tortelli has come from double digits to challenge with the leaders now.
Now people are really starting to sense that they're not even really worried about whether Tortelli can get around Huffman. Oh, all he needed was a little bobble. I think he was going to get around him anyway, but now they're looking at the gap to McGrath, and that is closed.
Right in our picture yet, as Sebastian Tortelli in second place just pours it on here at Glen Helen, the opening round of the 1999 national season.
He has had to pass everybody today. There you see McGrath popping up over that double. I mean, Tortelli has come from, I don't know, as far back as 20th in that opening lap. McGrath was out front. It's just an amazing charge. I haven't seen anything like this since Bob Hanna did it. Bob Hanna used to ride like this, come from behind. He was the guy you'd love to hope for because he never let you down.
Jeremy McGrath, number 15, now is in another battle for the lead. To hold off the fast Frenchman. Look at that. Tortelli. It's like he's on another track.
You know what, though? That it appears as though Jeremy's riding a little differently. Like maybe Jeremy has a problem. That's why he's able to catch him so quick.
It could be. Look at that. Jeremy going wide, and Damon Huffman now looking for his chance at second place as Tortelli just checks out.
I think Tortelli's pace may have caught Jeremy anyway, but it appears Jeremy's got a problem right now.
He slips to third. We'll be right back to see what the situation is in a moment. Two-time GP champion Sebastian Tortelli has blistered this course at Glen Helen. Welcome back. Tortelli, Huffman, Button, Larocco, Lusk. McGrath has slipped down to 8th. What you surmise, David Bailey, is absolutely correct.
And that's no fair. Pichon went through that section, didn't hit any bumps at all. That was a slick line he had on the outside.
Let's check in now with Davey and Randy Lawrence.
Randy, tough break there. Can you tell us what's wrong with Jeremy's bike?
Yeah, we're not sure what's going on with the bike right now. He broke the cases in the first moto, so I had to use a spare engine for this next race. And had a new clutch and new oil and everything in it for this race. Now, it appears that there's something wrong with his clutch, like maybe he burned the clutch out or something like that. But we're not sure. Won't be sure until he comes in.
I gotta tell you, man, it was an awesome effort.
Yeah, he was riding really good, and it was his only outdoor he's doing, so we really wanted to win it. And it's kind of a tough break, but we'll just see what happens.
While Jeremy takes a vacation from motocross, Randy Lawrence pursues a career of sorts.
He's going to hop on the downhill mountain bike, do some downhill slalom. He's talented. He's got a lot of technique.
Oh, I saw him in one show going down in the snow with spiked tires. It's amazing.
He's pretty brave too. I mean, he's done a 360 on a mini bike over a big double. He just don't try that without being a little worried, but he pulled it off.
Damon Huffman being pursued by Jimmy Button and Mike LaRocco.
LaRocco's got an opportunity right here for a great overall position if he can get around these guys. He has been maybe a little bit overlooked in this moto. So much focus on Tortelli. Look at LaRocco.
Cuts to the inside on Jimmy Button. Button, though, with good acceleration. Alongside each other, and Jimmy takes it back again. They both go by a lapper. Damon Huffman holding true out front of this trio, as Ezra Lusk is right behind Mike LaRocco.
No, Button's, it would bother me a little bit. His lines are all over the place. You know, I've watched LaRocco trying to picture what I would do if I were him, and every time he'd go somewhere, Button's coming across into his line. He can do whatever he wants. He's got the position right now, but he's making it tough for anybody to figure out how to get around, that's for sure.
LaRocco with the hand guards on, number 3, looking for a way to get back around Jimmy Button. Button is right behind number 31, Damon Huffman.
Lusk is right there behind these guys to take advantage of any carnage. I'll tell you, there's been some mistakes. These guys are all fighting for it. They can take each other out. Lusk can pass them all.
This is the only battle left, as Tortelli is just checked out on everyone else, and McGrath continues to slide backwards with apparently a clutch problem.
Up the inside.
LaRocco takes to the inside, but can he make it stick this time? It looks like he's got it.
That takes so much strength. To be able to come down that straightaway as fast as they do in that corner, where he made the pass actually a little bit off camber, all choppy, and he just managed to make that pass stick on the inside. The bike just wants to carry to the outside. You got to muscle it down and hold it tight.
Mike LaRocco, who has won a 250 Outdoor National Championship before. That was on a Kawasaki. He's on the Honda right now, the factory connection Honda. Jimmy Button still hounding. There's Ezra Lusk. Lusk just having bad luck today. Got caught up in some crashes.
Yeah, he's capable of running the pace of the guys out front, although Tortelli came by him in both motos and just pulled away. So he had his opportunity, the same opportunity Tortelli did, but then again, so did everybody. I don't think anyone's on the same page as Tortelli today. Lusk will be there, though, in this series.
Once again, LaRocco now. A beautiful inside move on Damon Huffman. So Mike LaRocco takes over second.
This is where he's the strongest. In the end, when your concentration starts to fade just a little bit, you get a little bit tired. Look how rough that berm is. Picking lines, staying strong and steady. LaRocco is one of the best.
Hughes and EMIG in the top 10. As we take a look at Damon Huffman, Ezra Lusk, and Jimmy Button. Oh, that's quite a pack.
This has been a great battle. And Button has had a lot of pressure. He's had to ride defensive this whole race. That's what happens when you get the hole shot and you can't check out. You get everybody coming after you. He's trying to deal with that front number plate slapping. Probably gotten used to it by now, but it's distracting. It's right there in your line of sight.
First motocross of the year, David Bailey. Second moto, getting down toward the end of it. Endurance, conditioning.
Well, I know.
You got to be feeling it because it's almost new muscles from Supercross.
Absolutely, much longer race. And you know, you can do all this in practice, but it's not quite at the intensity where it means as much as it does right here. I know Lusk is really confident in his training. LaRocco obviously is. I'm not sure about that of Button or Huffman.
Certainly, LaRocco adjusting his training over the years, he said, to fit more of what his body needs,
right,
as Jeremy McGrath has done in Supercross.
They do just what's necessary anymore, and they're overtrained. You don't look at that pass.
Ezra Lusk.
He learned from LaRocco, did the same thing. You know, these guys are chasing Huffman. If you look at Damon, you really don't think he's in that great a shape. I kind of had the same build, just long and lanky, when I was racing, but my legs and arms were strong. I didn't have to have that strong of a body because it never moved.
The smoother the rider, the easier you make it look.
And Damon's one of the smoothest. It doesn't take him as much energy to get around the racetrack.
Tortelli still our leader, about a 6-second lead on LaRocco in second, but the battle for third continues. Huffman, Lusk, and Button.
Amazing drive. Lusk got up that hill. He didn't need the front wheel was about 2 inches off the ground all the way.
You see LaRocco just in front there. Woo! Getting wild for Huffman, isn't it?
Yeah. He's having to push hard right now.
Coming down that hill, and Lusk in third place.
Lusk always puts in such a hard charge at the end of the race. And at times, it's like seeing a marathon runner that's run 26 miles and they get to the last 200 yards and sprint. You're like, where was that the rest of the time? I mean, I know that he's trying as hard as he can, but he's still able to dig down a little bit deeper in the final couple laps of the race, come up with some more.
A big gap from Tortelli to LaRocco, but look at this. Lusk still has a shot. As we take a look at our leaderboard, Tortelli, LaRocco, Lusk, Huffman, and Button. We'll be right back. The checkers are going to fly. AMA Motocross is brought to you by Honda Motorcycles and the 1999 Honda Race Team. Honda, ride red. Sebastian Tortelli on way. Get out the brooms. He's going to sweep it.
The thing that's impressive to me about this art is that he was behind everybody. It wasn't like there was a first turn pileup and 3 other guys were involved and he never had to pass them. He was behind them, passed them all, both motos. He hasn't pulled away in this moto.